So MomoCon just started, and as you can see, I'm like hiding behind my table because I don't have 90% of my product. All of it is still in transit. So I got a notification from FedEx saying that, oh, sorry, we missed your delivery. We'll attempt it again tomorrow. I am going to kill, well, I'm not going to kill anybody. I am going to write a strongly worded email. These people are playing with me. They only delivered one of the 3 boxes. The other 2 are coming separately. What the fuck, man? How can you miss taking a package from one FedEx to another? This is literally the worst day of my life. Hello, my name is DJ Kirkland. Welcome to the YouTube channel and my MomoCon 2026 vlog. And it is day 0. So I just flew in from Atlanta, directly from San Francisco. It's about a 5-hour flight, and it was pretty easy getting here. The thing that I love most about MomoCon, at least for me, is that I've been invited to be at this convention as a guest. This is not the first or the second time I've been here. This is the 3rd time I've done MomoCon and I've been a guest. And I just have to say, not just because I've been invited to this con as a guest, but MomoCon is truly one of my favorite conventions that I've ever attended, ever. And for those of you that like a little bit of a lore dump, the thing that I love most about MomoCon is that it had such rapid success. And its origins come from a small 2-day event on campus at Georgia Tech. It's wild to see that this convention started all the way back in 2005 to what it is today. It is leaps and bounds. But needless to say, I'm very excited to be here. So what we're gonna do right now is head on over to the exhibitor hall and go set up this table. So I had a bunch of stuff shipped here ahead of time because there's no way I was gonna be able to travel with all of my merchandise, because if y'all don't know, the prices for having more than 2 checked bags at an airline is insane. It jumps from, at least on Delta, which is what I flew to get here, it is $80 for 2 check bags. If you wanted a 3rd check bag, it jumps up to $280. That is absolutely highway robbery. So instead of doing that, I just paid a little money up front to go ahead and have some items shipped here. So I will pick those things up in the morning before the show starts in the afternoon, which is lovely. I don't know if I mentioned this before in my Emerald City Comic-Con vlog, but the thing that is the roughest about a 4-day convention is that the hours are just incredibly long. And what I appreciate MomoCon doing is treating Thursday as kind of like a preview night. So it doesn't start until 2 p.m. tomorrow, which is lovely. So I can go set up the table today. I can sleep in to kind of deal with the jet lag, and then get up, make sure everything is nice and pretty and pristine for the table, and then the show starts at 2 p.m. We're gonna go downstairs and get this table set up, and I'll give you the lay of the land of what we can expect this weekend. We're in the Georgia World Congress Center currently. It is, in fact, one of the biggest convention centers in the world. It has 2 giant convention halls, and definitely gonna get my steps in just getting from the hotel to the con. But it's fine, honestly, because the hotel, well, the host hotel that I'm staying in, is directly connected to the convention center, which is so nice. So it is currently the calm before the storm. People are already excited, and yeah, I am already exhausted after a full day of travel, but this setup has to happen tonight. Like, this is the start of some sort of horror movie that takes place at a comic book convention. Like, this is so eerie how quiet it is right now, but it's only gonna be crazier first thing tomorrow afternoon. Okay, we're in the convention itself, and Artist Alley over there. There it is. Well, happy Thursday. It is the first day of MomoCon, and as you can see behind me, I don't have much of anything at my table because all of my prints have yet to arrive. My prints, my stickers, the books, and even the rest of the stuff that I need for my setup is not here. So Definitely on the verge of a little teeny tiny crash out because they were supposed to have arrived yesterday. But I did check the tracking from FedEx. It should be here today. But this is like my worst nightmare, is not having any of my product here and being told a certain time and date of when my things are going to arrive and those things not coming at that specific time and date. Definitely a little stressed out about it, but it's okay. Thursdays at MomoCon are just a preview day, so it's only going to be from 2 to 8, and hopefully the package should be here literally any minute now. So I'm going to keep checking my phone to see when the package arrives. It's currently 1:43. The VIP guests are already walking around, and at the very least, I am happy that I do have the MomoCon exclusive prints. I have the cute MomoCon print of the guy holding the peach that I designed. I have the big print of him and the mini print of him, and also the cute little chibi sticker. I really do like how these came out. I'm happy that I do have these items at the very least, so I can sell a couple of things. But this is the stuff of nightmares for me. This is what I stress out about on a regular basis when it comes to convention prep. I was sitting at home, not stressed at all. I was like, I feel relaxed. I feel like I've done everything I needed to do ahead of time for the convention. I have no stress at all. And I get here and this happens. So you always have to sleep with one eye open when it comes to convention planning, but I'm gonna do my best to not have a full on crash out about it. But yeah, we're just gonna hang out, sell what few things we have currently, and kind of go from there. But hopefully that stuff will arrive soon and I'll have an update and actually give you a nice booth tour, because I do have some new things and I want to talk to y'all about that. What an interesting start to this convention. Okay, it is 4:17 and my stuff still isn't here yet. So the con has only been open for like 2.5 hours, but even still, this has not been a great feeling. And I'm trying not to internalize it as like some sort of like failing on my part when I was told by the people at FedEx that my stuff would have arrived on time yesterday. Like there's no way that I would have known that, having had my stuff shipped when I did, knowing that it would arrive on the day that I hoped that it would arrive. But it is what it is. So for now, I've mostly just been walking around. I was collecting some B-roll for this video, and in the meantime, I've just been hanging out with my friends that are here. So I went to the convention guest room, which was awesome because there's so many snacks and food and drinks and all kinds of goodies that you could imagine, specifically for people that were invited to this convention as a guest. So I've stocked up on some Red Bull so I can have some energy throughout the day, and I'm constantly just refreshing my phone and the FedEx page to see if my stuff has arrived yet, because the second I see that it's been delivered, I'm running up to the FedEx office because they close at 7. So I would like to get my stuff and get it back down here before my panel that I have at 7 tonight. This has just been so incredibly frustrating for me because I try to do my best to be as on task and on top of everything as I need to be, but today not going the way that I wanted to go has made this incredibly frustrating and like a little demoralizing. But I'm gonna do my best to not internalize it. I talked to my husband, he said not to internalize it. It's not an indictment of you or how the weekend's gonna go and all that stuff, because that's my first thought, right? Like whenever something bad happens, I'm like, oh, so this must be an omen for things to come for the rest of the weekend, right? But I'm gonna try my best to not internalize it and feel that way. And hopefully I'll have my stuff ready to go. So for the very least, tomorrow, the first full day from 10 to 7, I will have my stuff fully on display and ready to go. So I will check in with y'all in a little bit and hopefully I'll have a more exciting update. But yeah, this definitely sucks. Okay, so as you can see, I am back in my hotel room and the current time is 5:40 p.m. And you're probably wondering, DJ, why are you back in your hotel room at 5:40 p.m. on the Thursday of MomoCon? It's because I don't have any of my merch. I have none of my product that I went and deliberately shipped and paid a solid amount of money to have that stuff shipped ahead of time to be here yesterday for this convention. And none of that product is here today, being Thursday. I even downloaded the FedEx app to get push notifications specifically so that I could know when my packages would arrive. And come to find out that they attempted to deliver the packages and nobody was available to pick them up. Mind you, this FedEx has had Amazon deliveries, all kinds of deliveries from UPS and all that stuff delivered successfully. But a FedEx to another FedEx, can't get there for some reason. This convention might turn me into the Joker if this doesn't get resolved first thing in the morning tomorrow. And I already was on the phone with customer service at FedEx for like 30 minutes, which honestly is pretty good these days considering that every customer service thing over the phone is just an AI chatbot with pre-made responses. So actually talking to somebody like an actual human was refreshing. But yeah, I have a case number. So I told them, I'm like, you need to tell the FedEx guy to get out of the truck, bring all 3 of those fucking boxes to the hotel lobby and hand it to the guy inside the FedEx Business Center at the convention center, at the Omni Hotel in Centennial Park here in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, this has truly been my worst nightmare personified. I have a panel to go to in like an hour and 20 minutes, and I just gotta put on a brave face and be happy because these people that are here didn't do anything. This is something that I am personally dealing with that is, quite frankly, not even in my control. So I'm doing my best to not crash out about it, but I might have had a teeny tiny little baby crash out. You know, I think it's to be expected when you plan things in advance and then they don't do the things that they were supposed to do. Yeah. So day 1 of MomoCon has been an absolute fucking shit show, at least with getting my stuff. Everything else has been lovely. I had a wonderful breakfast with a bunch of my friends today. We went to Atlanta Breakfast Club, I believe that's what it's called, and I had probably the best plate of shrimp and grits that I've ever had in a long time. Like, the shrimp was in a chicken sausage gravy, and the shrimp was fried and it was still crispy even while sitting atop a bed of gravy and grits. It was so delicious. And I was like, this is a great start to what's normally a very amazing convention weekend. And then this happens and kind of shits all over that. It doesn't shit over how good the shrimp and grits were, but what a day for your boy. This shit sucks. I don't wish this upon my worst enemy. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna just take a minute. I'm gonna decompress. I'm probably gonna go to the hotel bar and have a drink before I go back down to the convention floor and go to this panel at 7. But today has probably been the worst day I've had at a convention in a very, very, very long time. I have to laugh at this point. There's nothing else that I can do other than laugh. We will see what happens in the morning. They said that the package will be here between 9 and 10 a.m. Let's hope that's the case. Because if it's here between 9 and 10 a.m., that's fine. I can spend the first hour and a half to 2 hours of my day setting up and just going from there. But we will see. That's day 1 of MomoCon. So I will be checking in with you lovely people tomorrow for day 2 of MomoCon, and hopefully it will be a much better day. Hello friends, it is Friday and the current time is 3:56 p.m. and about an hour ago I just got one of the 3 boxes that I'm supposed to get today. I truly don't understand FedEx and how when I go to the FedEx store and I ship 3 boxes at the same time, that all 3 boxes aren't then also arriving at the same place that I shipped them to at the same time. So one of them arrived and it says the other 2 are on the same truck, mind you, the same truck. So they've already been here and they left still with 2 of my boxes on the truck. I've never dealt with anything more incompetent before in my life than FedEx, and I will never be utilizing FedEx for anything ever again. It is just an absolute fucking nightmare. Yeah, it's been crazy. Hi, how's it going? I'm hanging in there. How are you? Good. But yeah, it has certainly been a day. I will say that I'm probably at about 80% capacity now. The only things that I'm missing at this point are the 11x17 prints, which don't really sell that much, so I'm not super upset about that. But I am missing my books and a couple of other items. So I'm just waiting for those other 2 boxes to arrive. So that's the big prints, and I believe maybe some more stickers, and my books. That has like the coloring book. It has my copies of Young Men in Love, both volumes, and Black Mage. So yeah, I'm close to being where I'm supposed to be. I'm fortunately grateful to be placed next to my friend, Jarrett Melendez, who was also in Young Men in Love, and he said that if I needed to, I could take a couple of copies of his and sell them. And then I told him I would replace the ones that I sold with the ones that I have when they finally arrive. So I'm grateful for community and to have friends like that that have been super supportive. Everybody that has talked to me or has come by has been like, I'm so sorry that you've been dealing with this. Yeah, I was definitely on the verge of a huge crash out, but I am trying my best not to be angry at service workers that have nothing to do with the issue. It is the person that's quite literally bringing the parcel from FedEx to the other FedEx office. It's that person that I have an issue with. And not only that, but the FedEx worker had the audacity to then charge me a $25 handling fee for the boxes after already paying $244 for the boxes to get here. I was looking at how much a third suitcase would have been on Delta. It would have jumped from $80 for 2 luggages. It would have then immediately jumped to $280. And yeah, in retrospect, at this point with how much I've spent, I should have just bit the bullet because I would have made that money back and I would have had the majority of my stuff. So it is what it is. I'm gonna do the best that I can with what I have, which is the majority of my stuff now. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to putting everything out and hopefully trying to make a little bit of money as this closes at 7. So we'll see. Okay, it is the end of day 2 of MomoCon, and what an interesting day today was. So we'll start from the top. Got up this morning around 8 and was trying to track the packages to see what's going on and where they're going to be and when it's going to arrive. The representative that I spoke to on the phone told me that the packages would be here between 9 and 10 a.m. And you can probably guess that they did not in fact show up between 9 and 10 a.m. The packages, or as I should say, package, arrived at around 3:30. It arrived after my second panel that I had today. It actually arrived in the middle of my panel because I got a notification saying that a package had been delivered. And because I was looking at the master tracking number, you would think that with a master tracking number and subsequent packages that were with it, that all of the packages that were underneath that master tracking number would arrive. They did not. One of the 3 packages arrived today, which fortunately the package that did arrive today was the one that I feel like was the most important. It had all of my bags for all of my sales. It had the rest of my mini prints. It had all of my stickers. And then inside of that box as well was all of my 10 by 10 and 11 by 14 prints. So I went from having a table that was about, I would say 9 to 10% full to it being around 90% full. So pretty good. It's a pretty big jump, which is nice. But the remaining 2 boxes have my 11 by 17 prints, which, as I've talked about before in previous videos, aren't really selling as much, but it does help fill out the table. It makes it a little bit more appealing and a little bit more eye-catching to look at. And then the other box contained my copies of the Young Men in Love anthologies, copies of Black Mage, some of the reusable sticker books that I designed, as well as some of the big boy coloring books. So suffice to say, some of the other products that people tend to really like are still not here, which is incredibly frustrating. And the thing that makes matters even worse is the fact that they successfully delivered one of the packages and they're on the same truck bed. They're being delivered by the same person. At least that's what it says according to FedEx. And the fact that they delivered one package and not the other 2, and they're allegedly on the same truck because they're all arriving at the same time, the math just simply doesn't math. It doesn't make any sense to me. So at this point, it's all above me now. Whatever the rest of this convention weekend is going to be. And what I will say though, on the bright side of everything that happened today, that when I did have my merchandise at my table, the sales were pretty decent. A lot of people were definitely taking advantage of the stickers being buy two get one free, as well as the mini prints, and all of my prints are buy two get one free. So a lot of people were taking advantage of those deals. So I definitely saw some pretty decently sized transactions for the majority of the day that I had left to work with. So I'm hoping that with tomorrow, that I will be at the table for the majority of the day and I have the majority of my merchandise there. So I have a better opportunity to kind of like recoup some of what I didn't make on Thursday and for the first half of today. So at this point, it's around 8:43 p.m. I have ordered Zaxby's to the hotel because it has been a very long time since I've had Zaxby's. I didn't think that there was a Zaxby's within the perimeter of Atlanta. All of the Zaxby's have been outside of the perimeter of the metro city of Atlanta, Georgia. So apparently there was one about a mile and a half away from here. So I promptly ordered myself some Zaxby's and I'm excited for that to come. And then after that, I'm gonna go to the gay clubs. I'm gonna go out to the Atlanta Eagle, and the bar that is now the Atlanta Eagle, back when I was living here in Atlanta, that was a little known bar known as Burkhart's. So it is wild to see how the city of Atlanta has transformed since I have lived here. And I'm just excited to experience more of Atlanta. I'm excited to see my friends that are here living in Atlanta and have a good night and then get up and tackle Saturday head on and hope for the best. I have 2 more panels tomorrow and that is it. All my panel responsibilities will then be done. I am at a state of delusion at this point. That's kind of how I'm feeling in regards to how this trip has shaped out. And I want to be clear, the issues that I've been having at MomoCon have nothing to do with the wonderful people and staff of MomoCon. Much like everything else in regards to like the prints and stuff, the things that are happening are completely out of anybody's hands that are here. It's all the truck that my stuff is on and the person driving said truck not knowing what the hell they're doing. The staff at MomoCon has been phenomenal. Jamie, my contact who is responsible for getting me my guest spot, has been an absolute angel. And I am so honored and grateful to be here. So that's what I keep telling myself, is that despite everything that's been happening surrounding the actual Artist Alley table, I've had a really great experience. The fact that I've even been asked back 4 times to come to MomoCon, and this being the 3rd time that I've been here because I didn't come last year, is truly an honor and a blessing. And I am grateful for this opportunity because not everybody gets flown out to a convention on the convention's dime, you know? So I'm very blessed and grateful to have this opportunity to be here and to show up and show out for the people of Atlanta. And I really do appreciate all the people that are here at MomoCon that have been so wonderful and kind and generous and that have supported me on social media and that have come to me because they've seen my posts on social media about what's been going on, have been so warm and so kind. And I just, yeah, I'm really thankful for the amazing people that I've gotten to meet and people that I've been able to see again this weekend. They are for sure the saving grace of this entire fiasco with my merchandise. So I have my Zaxby orders on the way. It should be here any minute now. So I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna take a shower, put on a cute little outfit, and then go to the Eagle and throw a little ass, but throw a little ass responsibly because I gotta be up and ready for a panel at 10 a.m. So yeah, I'm gonna go and keep it cute, maybe have like a Topo Chico or like a White Claw or something and just keep it low key. But yeah, that's the game plan for tonight. I just need to get out and kind of just like shake it out and hang out with some friends and all that good stuff. So that's what we're gonna go do. And I will check in with y'all first thing tomorrow. Hello, and welcome to Saturday, day 3 of MomoCon. And the current time is 11:51 a.m. And so I got a notification this morning from the tracking app that I'm using for the remaining 2 boxes. And the date in which the other 2 packages are set to arrive is Tuesday between 12 and 3 p.m. And you're probably asking, what time do you leave to go back to the Bay Area on Tuesday? And I leave at 12 p.m. So this is just life playing a huge joke on me at this point. It is what it is. So I kind of had a feeling that this would ultimately be the outcome, especially since it's going into a holiday weekend. What we do in moments like this is we pivot. So I adjusted the Artist Alley table to take one tier down to kind of make it look a little bit fuller because I don't have my 11 by 17 prints. So I have one, but it's like it's not worth putting out. To say that I'm defeated is definitely part of it, but we're gonna try to make the best of it. We still have a lot of stuff that we can sell while we're here, and we are gonna have a good time. We still have the rest of today, and then we have all day on Sunday, and then that'll be it. So super grateful to be here, happy to be here. I'm having a wonderful time outside of the fiasco with my merch for the convention. It just is what it is at this point. I don't have copies of Black Mage. I don't have the Young Men in Love volumes. I don't have a huge stack of my sticker books, and I don't have my coloring books, which honestly, it's okay. I have what I have, and it is what it is. So we're gonna try to make the best of today. I'll check in with you guys later. Hello, and good morning. It is Sunday, day 4 of MomoCon, and we didn't really get to do a recap last night because I ended up just leaving the convention and going back to the hotel room and just taking a much needed break, a little rest, and then I ended up meeting a friend for dinner and then going out. So let's talk about it. Yesterday, Saturday, was the first day where I had a full day of having the majority of my stuff. And I would say that overall it was okay. I do think that I would be very much on par with what I made here at MomoCon in 2024 had I had my stuff on Thursday. So the numbers were kind of matching up similarly. So it's been solid otherwise, right? But this entire fiasco has definitely impacted my sales for sure. So we are gonna find a way to make that money back somehow. But it's ultimately, it's good. The expenses, the money that I put in expense-wise has been taken care of. That has been covered. So we are in a decent place going into the last day of MomoCon. What I will say though, is that the placement that we're at for the guest artist here in Artist Alley is fantastic. The thing that I love about this is that there is so much space behind the tables, because at Emerald City, we are like almost bumper to bumper in Artist Alley. So I'm very grateful to have the space that I'm in, and it's been easy to maneuver, get in and get out and all that good stuff. So I am quite pleased. But what I realized that I haven't done at all this weekend, because my table hasn't been in a state to where I'd actually want to present it to anybody, is actually do a booth tour, because I did make a couple of changes based on some things that I tried at Comic-Con Oakland, which that video still isn't up by the time that I'm making this one, but it will be up at some point, I promise. So I will actually go around and show you some of the things that I got for this convention. So because I'm missing my 11 by 17 prints, the table setup is truncated a little bit. So we did make do with putting out some more of my 10 by 10 prints to make up for the space that needed to be filled, which I think looks pretty good. And so I got the new clear racks for all of my mini prints here, and that looked pretty good. And I shuffled some things around from the setup that I originally had designed for this convention, because I was going to have these 2 racks stacked here and here. And in the middle was going to be my comics and everything else that I had. So what we ended up doing, just to make the table look a little bit more full, is putting the mini print side by side here, and then having the reusable sticker book right here, which I still need to find a better way to advertise and talk about this product, but that's where we are still working on. And then I purchased these 2 little racks to put up my stickers to make the self-serve station a little bit easier to use for people. And then up here, we still have the 11 by 17 fan art prints. And again, we have a couple gaps here because that's where the 11 by 17 prints would have gone. But overall, I'm not mad at all with how this came out. So in just the few minutes that I was recording this specific set of content for the video, I got a sale. So I think we are looking up in terms of the experience for sales today. I think Sunday is always a solid sales day when it comes to these conventions, because I think people that have had the 4-day passes have been looking around, keeping an eye on things that they like, grabbing business cards, thinking about it, and are gonna make their final decisions at some point this afternoon. But who knows? I'm just gonna let today be whatever it's gonna be, and we are gonna make the best of the day regardless of what happens. So here's to MomoCon Day 4, and I will check in with you guys in a little bit. So after the tumultuous weekend I've had, I deserve a little free. So I have the other set of Naruto blind boxes that are similar to this. I got them at Anime Expo last year. I get the hype. I understand the hype of the blind box thing. It is most pleasing to me and my brain, but look at how cute these are. I actually don't mind any of these. I would be happy with anybody, but if I had to pick one, I really want Tsunade. I love Lady Tsunade so much. So we are gonna see what the vibe is, but I'm probably gonna end up with somebody that I don't want as much, but again, I do like everybody here, so let's see. I'm gonna reach in here. I know there's typically a card at the bottom. I don't wanna look, you guys can look. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Who do we get? Look at my son.
I've been getting the dark chorus.
Yeah.
I have 3 of them.
Yes.
And we're gonna get to one more.
Look at my son. Oh my God.
I literally, who can you get? Okay.
Yeah.
Literally nobody that I want
Yeah.
Gara.
Yes. There is a set that's over there that's next to them that has Gara in it.
What if I had Sakura?
Sakura is in that set too, so
Exactly.
yeah.
These are my most favorite character.
Yeah.
My least favorite. Well, Sasuke is my least favorite.
Yeah.
The exhibit hall is now closed.
There it is.
Please make your way to the nearest exit. The exhibit hall is now closed. We hope to see you next year.
We did it. MomoCon is done. Good job, everybody. Now time to tear all this shit down. It's time to go. It's time to go. Well, girly pops, it is now Tuesday, June 9th, and I gotta say, it has been an interesting couple of weeks since MomoCon happened. And I gotta say, I didn't think I was actually going to get a conclusion to the entire drama with my packages being missing. So here's the deal. Yesterday, my lovely husband got a message from the folks that live in the house that we used to live in, because occasionally we do get packages that are somehow addressed to our old house sent there still. And even though we've been in this house for well over 3 years at this point, and he said, hey, 2 packages arrived for you today. And both Brandon and I looked at each other and we were like, I think it's your stuff from MomoCon. And sure enough, it was. So yes, I am very happy that my stuff is back in here in the Bay Area. But when I saw the boxes, they looked like this. Yeah, I would like to say those boxes have been ran through, those boxes have experienced God knows what. It feels like when I saw those boxes that somebody at FedEx had done the people's elbow, pile drive, hurricane kick, suplexed these boxes all over the place. But fortunately, all of the stuff that were in those boxes are safe and they are sellable. I can use these items to sell at local shows and I can put them on my online store as well. My God, what an end to that saga. So let's talk about what was actually good about my experience at MomoCon. Quite literally everything else. The event itself is so well organized, so well run. I do greatly appreciate Jamie, who is the person that's responsible for getting me a guest spot at MomoCon, for setting me up and being there for me while I was trying not to crash out at the convention due to all the shenanigans that were going on with my stuff. It was honestly a wonderful weekend. The weather wasn't the best. It was raining the whole weekend, but that quite literally did not stop anybody from going to this convention and having a great time. I will say though, had I had all the contents of these other 2 boxes at my table, I probably would have made more than I had in 2024, which was my best year at MomoCon. So now that I'm back home and have been home for a little bit and I have all of my merchandise back, let's talk about the items that sold the best at MomoCon this year. Looking at the top 5 items that I sold at my table at MomoCon, it's really not any shock to me. So my number 1 item that I sold the most of was my MomoCon mascot. I am so glad that I decided to make an exclusive print for this convention. I think that really incentivized people to want to buy because it was something that they knew they could get exclusively at this event. Of the MomoCon mascot print, I sold 5 of the 11 by 14 print and I sold 14 of the 4x6 print, which again is not surprising to me at all, considering that small prints are always going to sell way better than large ones. People just simply don't have the space to put up large prints anymore, and also the value proposition isn't quite as high because they're harder to carry around the convention, and you can't really get as many items by spending more money on a much larger print. So I feel like more people were willing to spend $15 or more buying multiple little prints that I sold for $5 each. While I knew I was going to have a lot of stickers on this top 5 list, I didn't think the Sailor Goon sticker was going to be the top selling sticker. I think people looked at it and got a good chuckle out of it, and they liked Sailor Moon and they saw Sailor Goon and just kind of went with it and purchased it, which I don't blame them. The sticker was $5, so I felt like it was fairly priced, so people were like, yeah, I definitely need that goofy ass sticker. So I'm glad that I brought it. And in third place, it's my Sailor Guardian print. That print has been around for at least 3 years, and I'm so glad that I have it. And of course, the 4x6 version of that print sold 7 units, and the 11x14 version of that print sold 4. Of the new stickers that I illustrated this year, I didn't think that this one would be the best selling one, but I do really like the drawing that I did of this one a lot, so I'm glad that it did sell well. So in fourth place, we have the Hairy Beefy Babe sticker. I really do like this design a lot. I personally feel like that sticker in particular is fulfilling a gap that was needed at my table. I didn't really have any stickers or artwork of guys that were really hairy, so I'm glad that I made that print of him, and people seem to love it, so I will definitely be restocking him for my next show. Last, but certainly not least, the Biceps, Bellies, and Butts sticker. I love it. Biceps, bellies, and butts are my favorite 3 food groups, and that's the line that I would pitch to people every time they would look at it and laugh, and they got a good laugh out of it, so they were just compelled to buy it, I think. I'm really glad that I decided to just make stickers of these cute little phrases that I have, and people seem to really like them, and I'm definitely going to make more of them in the future. Okay, so let's talk about what's next for me this summer. I just applied to 2 shows, and they happen to both be on the same weekend, so we'll see what happens. So I applied to SAC Anime, which is an anime convention in Sacramento, California, which is like roughly an hour or so away from me, which would be great to do another local show. So while it's currently up in the air if I'm gonna get into SAC Anime or not, the potential of having a 10x10 space that is around $200 less than what I paid for a 6-foot table at Emerald City Comic Con is wild and exciting to me. I already have ideas in my head of what I want to do for a 10-foot space, so I really just want to sit down and just like draft up a layout and start designing stuff for this dream table layout. Just thinking about it honestly gets me so freaking excited. And even if I don't get in, I'm still gonna go ahead and plan out my dream 10x10 layout, because one of these days I will in fact have a 10x10 display at somebody's convention. And the other event that I applied for is PAX West, and this is the first time they're actually doing an artist alley. It has been something that people have been asking for years. I've been to PAX once before and I had a great time, but I definitely felt like them not having an artist alley is a huge mistake. It is such a great opportunity for people that want to work in the gaming space, whether it be tabletop or with video games. It's a great opportunity to meet new and up-and-coming artists they could potentially work with. I feel like it's just been a huge missed opportunity for them for years. So I applied for both of these shows. They are the exact same weekend, and this is the 3rd time that I've applied for SAC Anime and I have yet to get in. So if for some strange reason I actually do get into SAC Anime, I'm gonna prioritize that. I'm gonna save my money on the travel expenses and trying to find a hotel and all that stuff, and really just go for it with SAC Anime and see what shakes. And having the opportunity to test out that 10x10 space, it would be a huge missed opportunity to not go if given the opportunity to go to that convention. And there's only other one event that I'm for sure going to do in the fall, and that's Barristan Street Fair. This will be the 3rd year of me doing Barristan Street Fair. I had a wonderful time doing it the 1st year and the 2nd year, and it's only getting better and better. I have a pretty decent outdoor setup, and again, I would still design some things to make that setup look even nicer. I have so much branding ideas and art that I want to make the booth look really cool. So yeah, I'm excited about potentially venturing into having larger spaces to have more product and more art and all that good stuff to really make a great experience of me, my art, and Big Boy Social Club. Like, that is the goal for me personally. That's what I have planned going forward from the rest of the summer and into the fall. And that is a lot of work regardless of which events I go to, making new illustrations, designing more marketing stuff, making design elements for an outdoor display, making design elements for a 10x10 display. There are so many things to consider regardless of what shows I end up doing, but it's exciting to me nonetheless. And if y'all have stuck around for this very long Artist Alley vlog, I really do appreciate it. MomoCon this year was quite the experience, and I didn't think that what happened was going to happen, but it's a huge learning experience for me, that's for damn sure. The key lesson that I learned from MomoCon this year is to just pay the extra baggage fee, because at least you can guarantee that your stuff is going to get to where you need it to go. I mean, of course, there is a possibility of your luggage being lost at the airport, but I feel like I would rather take the risk of my stuff being lost at an airport versus it being lost through FedEx. So yeah, an unfortunate lesson learned. Again, I gotta say thank you for sticking around for this very long Artist Alley vlog. It means a lot to me that you like my videos, that you like my work, and the things that I do. I have so many more ideas for videos that I wanna make, but it's a matter of finding the time to make them. So we're gonna get this YouTube thing together. I promise we will. We're gonna post more consistently, and it's gonna be a key. It's going to be, absolutely. So until next time, take care of yourselves, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.